I can explain what I mean in this comment a little bit better in a video. So the context is I had left a comment on a video made by this creator. He's a really interesting creator. You should definitely go follow him. He makes technology content, especially about AI. And my comment was, I think the movie that got AI the most correct so far is the movie The Forbidden Planet. But the people who were making that movie didn't even realize they were making a movie about AI. So The Forbidden Planet is this sci-fi movie that came out in 1956 that I saw when I was like 12 or 13 or something. And when I first saw it, I just thought it was like campy and kind of fun and had a weird, cool, old-timey robot in it. But I keep watching it over and over and over, and I think, man, this is a really smart movie. This movie was really saying something that was a century ahead of its time. So spoilers ahead, yada, yada, yada. This movie takes place way in the distant future, and it's about a crew of scientists who are traveling around the galaxy, just studying, documenting, mapping out all the other planets in the galaxy. And there's this one planet that they've been studying for years. They don't know what to make of it. It's a big-ass mystery because the planet is full of these really huge mega structures, these crazy power plants, really complex public transit systems and all this stuff, but there's nothing living on the planet. They know that there used to be some like ultra super advanced race of aliens that were there that were building all these mega structures, but they're all gone and nobody can figure out why. So the big reveal at the end of the movie is they figure out what happened to the aliens that built all of these machines. What had happened was the aliens created a type of technology where they could just sit down and kind of plug their minds into this machine, and they just imagined things. They just imagined physical objects, and the physical object would appear. The machine would assemble the atoms or whatever to make the thing exist. So if the alien could understand how like an energy generation system or a type of medicine could work, they could just sit down, imagine this medicine or this machine or whatever, and the thing would just pop into existence. But what the aliens didn't factor in was all of their subconscious thoughts, all of their jealousy, all of their hatreds, all of their rage and prejudice. Those things came out of the machine as well. And those accidental subconscious creations destroyed everybody on the planet. They all accidentally killed each other because they released their own subconsciouses into the world. So imagine yourself as a human sitting on this machine, imagining perpetual motion machines and cancer cures. And it's awesome, it's awesome, it's awesome. And then all of a sudden, an intrusive thought pops in your head about an atom bomb dropping on Dallas, Texas. And it just happens. Or you imagine a type of wild monster that's all made out of claws and teeth that only eats people of a specific race. And like now the thing exists. Okay, so what does all this have to do with AI? My take here is that I feel like technology has completely accidentally, inadvertently evolved more and more in the direction that the writers of The Forbidden Planet were warning us about. We can't blink things physically into existence, but that kind of doesn't matter anymore because so much of our existence is virtual. So much of commerce, culture, politics is happening online. And digital technologies let us just snap things into existence in the virtual world. All I need is a laptop and I can create a meme, I can create a social media app, I can create a cryptocurrency. You can think of AI, I think, as another step in the direction of lowering the barrier for entry for people to create things online. And you don't have to know how to code. You don't even have to understand what code is, right, in order to use AIs. And yeah, right now we're kind of just using it to create cool dark fantasy art. But how far are we from using AI to create like computer viruses? All technologies have a physical and engineering aspect and a social aspect to them. Think of the first dude who created irrigation. Like, yeah, there's a physical and engineering aspect to it. How wide do I got to make these trenches? What's the slope that they got to be built at? But there's also a social aspect to it because as soon as he was done inventing the technology, him and his community had to have a discussion about, okay, whose land are we going to irrigate? Whose water are we going to divert to create the irrigation? What are we going to do and how are we going to distribute what we grow? Are we going to sell it? Are we going to use? Do we have to sort out the concept of land ownership? There was all these social aspects to it as well. It's true that every once in a while some sort of external exigent factor is relevant to the discussion about the development of a new digital technology. I'm talking things like electricity subsidization and greenhouse gas emissions when it comes to cryptocurrency. I'm talking about figuring out a system of prioritizing who gets to use the supercomputers when running ChatGPT. But my hot take here is I think those sort of like physical pressures, physical restrictions on how technology is going to develop and use are becoming less and less relevant and less common. I think humans have always kind of thought of technologies as things external to themselves, almost like they're competing with their own technologies. I don't think that's right? Like, technologies are all extensions of our own wants and imaginations and priorities and biases and needs and social systems. It's not like tools just fall out of the sky and we figure out the best way to use them. Like, we create tools because we have problems we need to fix. But if we're moving toward this world where the important stuff is increasingly conceptual and virtual and not constrained by the laws of physics or the environment or the world how we found it, and at the same time we're making tools that are increasingly conceptual and virtual, I would expect to see more human behavior and more human flaws in our tools, not less. Basically, I'm saying AI is a machine made of human thought responding to human thought. It's more human than human. If you and I ever live in a world where a person can just sit down and imagine a digital product or piece of code or whatever, or app into existence, whether or not that's going to be used for good or bad is completely not a technological question. It's a social question only. It's a humanity question only. It's a culture question only. It's a problem of people. It's not a problem of technology.